second year, he came up to me and he said, Max, what's my name? And Max said, I'm sorry, I don't know. He said, listen, damn it, I have cooked you steaks for more than a dozen times. My name is Luke, and the next time I walk in, I expect you, whether it's across the bar or across the street, I expect you to say, hi, Luke. Do you get it? And Max is about 6'4", and he said, now once again, Max, what's my name? And Max said, you're Luke. I said, you got it. Max said, I never forgot that, and I never forgot Luke. Ennis is a town of 700, and surrounding areas, well, the county's darn near the size of the state of Rhode Island, and there are 1,000 people. And Luke, in 10 years up there, was the ambassador. He was the mayor of Ennis. There wasn't anybody that didn't know Luke, and he was proud of what he did, and what he did so well. And I think it was David that mentioned our friends would come up, and many families came up year after year, and it was only one time that Luke would know them and know what their tastes were, what, if heaven forbid they were allergic to anything. Luke never forgot, and never forgot what it was that you liked and would want to please you. And he did that so marvelously with a great gift for being a very, very talented chef. He obviously became a lot more to us. I'll miss him. And Jim, I'm sorry, but he was my son also. We watched him grow, and I think today we've heard Luke didn't have it all together. He meant a lot to me because of the way he stood by Pam in the recent bout that I've had with cancer, and the things that he did for Pam. And I think this may sound strange, but I think next to Angie, nobody will miss him as much as Pam. And then I'll stand right in line, shoulder to shoulder with Pam, for missing a great guy who brought a lot to our lives, who used his talents to please everybody, and who will always be Luke. Thank you.
I've never spoke to very many people like this. Fred does all my talking for me because he's so good at it. But one thing I said to the people in Montana, Luke was exposed to a lot of people through Fred and ourselves. And also through Luke, we got to know many of his friends and family. And I told everybody in Montana, and I want to say here too, we lost Luke, but we don't want to lose the people that he brought into our lives also. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I told myself I would talk today. I spent the better part of 4 months with Luke. He dragged me up to Ennis with him. You know, Ennis, Montana. Who wants to go there, right? He got me a job. A chef contacted him, and he said, I got the perfect guy for you. So he brought me up to Ennis. He was the first person I saw when I got there. Took me to the Rentschler's ranch and showed him where he was king. He showed me his kitchen and all his gadgets. I bet you don't got one of these, you know, is that kind of stuff. I'm like, only you, Luke. You got everything you need, and you still don't know how to use it. So about the cleaning of the stove, Luke called me one Wednesday morning. He said, hey, we got some guests up for lunch at 12:30. What are you doing? I said, why, Luke? He said, well, I promised everybody I'd make raviolis. I said, Luke, do you know how to make raviolis? Well, it's been about 10 years, so why don't you go ahead and get up here? So we make a mess of the kitchen. We get everybody fed. Fred and Pam are happy and everything, and we're looking around at the kitchen, and it's a total mess. I'm like, Luke, aren't you lucky you don't have to clean this up? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you're spoiled. Why don't we clean the stove? Well, I'll do it later. I said, make sure you clean the stove. So that's where the stove thing came from. But one of the most exciting things about Ennis is going into town with Luke. When I first got there, he showed me around, and Luke was mayor. Everybody knew him. He knew where to go to get things for free. Stop in and get some coffee. It was on the house. So Luke showed me a new life in Montana and how everybody loved him. And I promised everybody there that I would say what another town meant to him and how much he was loved there. He brought me more into Angie's life and Kylie. Spent many a days just hanging out, watching Fred's movies. Another reason why I went to Montana is so Luke and I could better our golf game. Our mission was to beat Sean. Still won't happen, but anyway, I just wanted you all to know that Luke was loved here and in Ennis, and we all still love him. I'm a better person knowing Luke, and I'm sure you all are too. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am Sean Bowers. I went to culinary school with Luke, and I'm the guy that told him what all those gadgets did. When I would arrive in Montana, he'd have a counter full of new toys that he said look cool. Pam bought it for me. I don't know what it does. So that was usually the first half hour of my trip there before I unpacked, was to see all the new toys. Or he'd call me. The ravioli story is a great one because he called me to ask me how to make ravioli dough and how to use the pasta machine, because he didn't want to seem like he didn't know how to use it when Tanner came up to help him. One of the first things that I'll share two stories with you. My wife Tracy and I are compiling the book outside with the emails and the names. If you can please put your name and email in there. Even if you don't think you have something to share now, in a couple of months you might think of something. We're not going to do this immediately. We're going to wait for a little bit, let the dust kind of settle so that everybody can kind of churn over some stories, and then we're going to put everything together and bind it into a book. So please, pictures, stories, all those good things. So my first story is from when we were in culinary school. For some reason, I'm originally from Cottonwood, Arizona, northern Arizona. When Luke and I were in school, he convinced me somehow to drive to Flagstaff to go pick up Angie in a blizzard. And I think if you ask Angie, I'm not exaggerating. I couldn't see far past the hood of the car. And I honestly don't know how he talked me into doing that. It was something along the lines of, Flagstaff's near Cottonwood, isn't it? Like I'd know the road better than he would. So, but that was the first time that I remember saying to myself, I'll never do that again, shortly after one of Luke and I's adventures. The second one I'll tell you is about 6 years ago, I got talked into going into Montana to go assist in a large family gathering. One of the Renchlers, Mr. Renchler's family friend coming up for his birthday, and they brought the whole family. So he wanted to do something special, so they brought me up to stay for the week. My second day there, we went into the bustling metropolis that is Ennis, Montana, to go pick up our supplies and do some shopping. And the first stop we made, you'll like this progression. It was quite humorous for me. Our first progression was to go to the bowling alley to pick up a birthday cake. Apparently the lady that makes the birthday cakes also works at the bowling alley. Second, we went to the rental storage units to go pick up the meat that had been freshly butchered. The gentleman called that morning to let us know that the packages of meat needed to be picked up because he needed the space. Then we went to the pharmacy to get pans to roast the turkeys that we bought. And needless to say, it was quite an experience for me. I kept bugging him about, what's at the feed store? What else is hiding around the corner? So I'll miss all the things that Luke used to ask me. There was a lot of things that I tried to teach Luke and wasn't always successful. A couple of things that he never really quite understood, like why Frank Sinatra's still cool. what's the benefit of a 3